Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Recently, my friend Dan sent me an article regarding of the state of health in the world. And in this article, it stated that around the world, the rate of obesity has increased to about 1 billion, which means that 1 in 8 people in the world is now considered to be obese. Now, this is clearly a significant health problem around the world. The rate of obesity has increased dramatically in the past 20 years. At the same time, the rate of malnutrition also has declined. However, today, the countries that are most affected by obesity turn out to be countries that actually has a low income and high poverty level. So for some of these countries, they actually suffer both obesity and malnutrition at the same time. Now, the obesity rate show a great deal of difference between country to country. The world's most obese country are a group of island nations. And this group of island nations have extremely high rates of obesity. And in fact, the problem has been dramatic because of the health issue that result from obesity. In this country, for example, in American Samoa, the obesity rate is up to 75%. And the result is that there are many problems associated with obesity-related disease, such as diabetes, which is the most prominent, but it also suffers from other types of disease, such as cardiovascular diseases, kidney diseases, and some cancer. Now, the obesity rate is not the same around the world. As you can see in this graphic, is that some countries have very low obesity rate, such as China, Japan, and some part of Africa. However, in the rest of the world, the obesity rate is extremely high, particularly in Western nations. Now, the most interesting thing is that the obesity rate is quite different between United States and France. France stands unique in terms of its low obesity rate. In fact, the obesity rate in France is only about 10% as compared to the obesity rate in the United States, which is 40%. So what accounts for these differences? And this is a question many demographers as well as healthcare officials try to understand. Of course, in the difference between the United States and France in terms of diet, there are significant variations. And so quite clear, this dietary variation might be responsible for the differences in obesity rate, as well as the differences in many diseases that are associated with obesity. And from a healthcare standpoint, this could be a very important consideration because high obesity rates lead to excessive healthcare needs. And so, what is the major difference? It turned out that when nutritionists as well as health officials examined the difference between these two nations, they found that the most significant difference is that in countries with high obesity rate, there is an excess consumption of fast and ultra-processed food. In fact, in every country around the world that with a high rate of obesity, the contributing factor can clearly point to the rise in the consumption of fast and ultra-processed food, as well as the decline in home cooking. Because of this reason, I decided that I'm going to develop a home cooking system that will allow people to make home cooking as part of this daily routine. And this is the origin of the fast cooking system. The fast cooking system, which has 4 components, that's flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. When you combine these 4 components, you can prepare a home-cooked meal in less than 30 minutes from scratch and use all fresh ingredients. And if you do it every day, it's going to have a significant impact on the health outcome. And home cooking in the United States for most people has become gradually an activity that they don't have time for. Today, most households spend less than 30 minutes in the kitchen to prepare a meal. And that's not enough using the traditional home cooking method. And consequently, the fact is that this convenience prevents people to do any type of home cooking. So in order to overcome this barrier, the important thing is to develop a cooking system that people can cook from scratch with the same amount of time that they normally use to get fast and ultra-processed food. But if this system also creates food that is more flavorful, then home cooking can become a daily routine, and this is the goal. Now, for those of you who have not been doing home cooking very much, you would say, is it possible to cook from scratch in less than 30 minutes using all fresh ingredients? The answer is yes. And this video is a good example to demonstrate that with some creativity and originality, you can create something that is truly delicious and something that you were looking forward to have. This will allow you to use this as an alternative to fast and ultra-processed food. In this video, I'd like to demonstrate to you a dish that's so simple to cook. All you have to do is to know how to fry some egg. And most people probably have some basic skill in frying eggs. If even not, it is very easy to prepare. And it requires minimum equipment. In this case, I cook it in a wok. But obviously, in this particular dish, you can cook it in a traditional frying pan. But this dish has many components that make it an excellent meal. In fact, this dish is sufficient for you to use it as a meal for 2 to 3 people. Okay, let's go into the kitchen and I'm going to demonstrate to you how to cook this dish. Now, the basic idea of this dish is a fried egg. Now, everybody loves fried egg, particularly sunny side up, because the yolk are fried separately from the egg white. It gives the egg really great texture. Now, all you have to do in this case, you notice that I use altogether 6 eggs. I'm going to start out with some frozen corn. Now, you can put anything in it. In this case, because I happen to have a frozen corn on hand. And the benefit of cooking a simple dish is to have the ingredients already ready to go. Now, I also happen to have some spinach. Now, a lot of people use spinach for salad, but in this case, you can use the spinach for this dish. It adds both flavor and texture, but also add nutritional value to the dish. Now, spinach is very fast to cook, and all you have to do is just simply layer the spinach on top of it. And then I'm going to season the dish with the wok with tart basic seasoning mix. Now, this seasoning mix contains ingredients that are high in umami flavor. So this will give the dish a savory flavor, which make the egg really delicious. And you can give it a try. And I have it on Amazon that you can get it. So followed by that, I'm going to add some feta cheese. Now, I use feta cheese simply because I have them on hand. But otherwise, some other time I will use such as Parmesan, or I use Kobe Jack, whatever cheese that you would like. But feta cheese is excellent for this particular dish. Particularly if you love feta cheese, you will really enjoy the additional of feta cheese. And then I follow by using some color bell pepper. Again, these are miniature color bell pepper. Again, I have them on hand, so all I have to do is put it in. And this is what makes this dish is so easy. Okay, now the dish is done. And basically at this point, I have shut off the heat. And I use the wok spatula to loosen the egg from the wok. As you can see in here, this is stainless steel wok, and the egg do not stick to the wok because I have seasoned the wok with my spot seasoning method. This is a very simple method to season a stainless steel wok, and the end result is that the egg will not stick to the surface of the wok at all. Okay, now the dish is done. As you can see, how simple and straightforward it is to cook this dish. Now, the total cook time of this dish is literally only about 4 to 5 minutes. If you know how to fry an egg, you are able to cook this dish. The value of this dish is not only the fact that you're able to cook it in such a short time. In fact, it is probably shorter than if you would get fast and ultra-processed food. But the most important is that this dish is cooked from scratch and you use exactly the ingredients that you would like. So you know exactly what you put into your body. And since I always have some scallions on hand in the refrigerator in my advanced prepping, I'm going to add some scallions to add a little bit more onion flavor to the dish. And one of the significant attributes of my fast cooking system is template-based cooking. The idea of template-based cooking is that by using a basic template, you can create many variations by substituting some of the ingredients in the template. This dish is a good example. The process of cooking this dish, you can consider it to be as a template. In this case, you just fry the egg like you do a normal sunny side egg that you fry. But then you can make substitutions. You can change the spinach with other type of ingredients. You can use different type of cheese. And you can also make adjustment to how you flavor the dish. So the end result is that you can create many variations. And this is the reason why you can make home cooking as part of your daily routine and you will never get bored of doing it. I live a simple life in the country and I also just support simple cooking. In fact, the best cooking is the simplest type of cooking, such in this particular dish. So I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine. And if you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking and I will see you tomorrow.